My full name is Vivien Betsy F. Malsi, though while I was at Southville, my maiden name was Vivien Betsy Fuentebella. Business Administration, major in International Marketing. I think that was American State University, if I'm correct. Yeah. I graduated college in 2006. So currently, I'm an IT manager at 3M GSC, that's 3M Global Service Center. Not sure if you're familiar with 3M, but it's the company that produces Scotch-Brite, Scotch tape. Actually, there's very wide variety of products that the company produces, no? And you might be familiar with the consumer product. So our team, we support yung ERP system of 3M in the APAC region specifically, and then we also help deploy SAP in 3M legacy countries. So the company headquarters is in St. Paul, Minnesota, but my office is in BGC. It's at the corporate center office. But of course, right now, since the pandemic, we've been working from home for the past more than 1 year now. We've been working from Cavite. And since IT naman kami, we really are able to do everything from home as long as we have internet, VPN connection. We can connect to the company's intranet. We're able to do everything even remotely from the office. So in the industry, I've been in IT for about 15 years, but in SAP particularly for 10 years, and then currently in 3M, kasi I've been with 3 companies na. First, Buy and Trade, the second one in HP, Hewlett-Packard, and then I just moved to 3M in 2016. So going on 5 years na this year with my current company. So I've worked through Buy and Trade is a local IT company. And then when I moved to HP, we also worked with different clients across the world. Actually, at that time, around 5 years siya, I was working mostly in night shifts because the client was in the US. And then now that I moved to 3M, we're serving the APAC region. So back to the normal regular shift. I've been through both local and global companies na rin and have seen yung different, I guess, the nuances in the culture. 15 years is a lot in hindsight. Actually, I remember that time, Southville Foreign University. I graduated under full scholarship program in SFU, no? So that in itself is already a very big, a huge help for me financially. And of course, I also started working at the age of 18, as I said. So that also kind of gave me a head start in comparison to my peers, no? Since they started working at the age of around 20, 21, depending on the course that they took in college. I started at 18. So medyo mas may, I guess, advanced experience ako career-wise. So at the same time, si SFU also prepared me in my career in a lot of ways. First nga, because it's an international school, so we were studying with classmates and with also professors, no, who were a mix of different races and nationalities. I had that exposure to work with culturally diverse people, which was very helpful din sa career and in what I do now at work, since we're collaborating with many different teams across the globe. So in particular, Costa Rica, Poland, and of course, since headquarters is in the US, we also have a lot of touch points with them. I remember back in college, I had a very close friend na Vietnamese. So she also gave me a bit of exposure to her own culture, no, yung Vietnamese culture. And then, of course, yung mentor ko in college din was Mr. Melevoy, who I know has passed on na nga recently. So he was also my mentor, and of course, he's American. So very different din yung approach. And I think that was important because that kind of gave me this cultural awareness and sensitivity in knowing how to approach different people from different backgrounds, So yeah, that was, I guess, one of the things that also prepared me in the corporate world. And another thing is because of the professors that we had, most of them were actually VPs and industry experts in their own field. So they brought in a lot of real world experience, business world experience into their lectures. So with that, we also gained a wider perspective, not only yung global perspective, but yung real world insights din nila. They would always incorporate into the lectures. So I guess yung mga perspectives that the exposures that I gained from studying in an international school was really very helpful now that I'm working in a multinational company as well. Living away from my family, since we were from Bicol, syempre, they were my main support system, And then I came here. I rented a room along with my co-scholar. She was also from Bicol. Of course, given that I was living the first 16 years of my life in Bicol with my family, I really missed them terribly. So that was maybe one of the lows. And in terms of the highs naman, I would say, syempre yung mga achievements din natin in SFU, So as I mentioned, yung pagiging editor-in-chief of the school newsletter, which was, still is the bridge. And then I also graduated magna cum laude in college. But I guess the most impactful one, as you may already know, is that SFU is where I met my now husband and the father of my child, yung aking co-scholar, si Alex Matsi. Financial, since nga full scholar ka, although covered talaga yung uniform, yung books, yung tuition, everything was provided. But other miscellaneous things, And at the same time, since I had that cognizant nga na my parents sent me here to study in Manila, they were providing me their hard-earned money. Because I was so aware of that, the focus really was for me to just study, to have good grades, and to make the most out of my experience. I was actually reading this book. I have it here pa. Ito, kay Francis Kong siya. Yung first chapter niya it was entitled Load Up Before You Leave. So, ang analogy lang na kinuha niya doon was, it's like when you're going on a vacation, when you're going to a new journey, you need to load up before you leave. Meaning, you pack your bags, you book your hotel reservation, you make sure that your car is ready for the ride. It's the same as in any journey. You need to be prepared. You need to load up. Yun nga. So after college, diba, once you begin in your journey in the corporate world or in business, you need to be ready because there will be many complex situations also that you will encounter and you will find yourself in, and your preparations will surely prove useful, diba? In particular, I think for the future graduates and those who plan to take up, siguro to the future graduates na lang of SFU, I think it's really essential for you guys right now to, number one, build yung right study habits, to be diligent with your homework, to participate in group and all that, all the works, because that will eventually translate into good work ethics, and being a good teammate in the workplace. So that's really important. And then also, of course, as I mentioned nga kanina, be a sponge, so absorb as much knowledge as you can. CSFU provides very high quality education. You have very good books. Actually, the books that I have, I still keep. It's treasure of knowledge. Really, just equip yourself with knowledge. Grow your network, and develop the right attitude, towards tasks while you're there at SISFU. Kasi even right now, me as a manager, I do performance reviews. It's equally important. It's not just important that you technically capable, for example, in IT. We give the same weight to the behaviors, no? How the accomplishment was accomplished. So those are both very important. No? So you really need to build your study habits so that in the future, once you already have that kind of discipline and diligence, you will carry that over as good work ethics when you enter a company. Just load up before you leave and make sure you're prepared for the long and exciting journey ahead.